Hello and welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil episode 44?
Close, 43. This time you're actually
Ah.
ahead of the curve instead of behind it, so that's something.
This is On the Anvil. Who cares what episode it is? It's the show where we take you behind the curtain here at Dwarven Forge.
You're the one who wanted to make it an episodic thing.
I don't know. They don't care. We're going to show you what we're up to. This is the show. We hang out for the next 2 hours. We have we share a beverage, and we're going to show you what we're thinking, what we're working on, what our development process is like. Show you all the wrinkles behind the curtain. And tonight we are talking about the future. We're talking about what our next Kickstarter is in October. What I do?
We're talking about the future. I'm like, oh, we're doing sci-fi?
Not yet. That's it. Oh, we are gonna. Yeah, we have to have our sci-fi symposium with the team, and then we'll do our sci-fi episode here once we figure out what's happening with the sci-fi symposium. But I have a crazy sort of not long game, but there's a sci-fi plan brewing of when and how. But I don't know. We'll get there. But I'm Nate, and you're Chris, and I don't know what else do people need to know if they've never been tuned in before.
Hi, we're Dwarven Forge. We make the world's finest miniature terrain.
Woo!
Right now, what you're about to see is some of that terrain in process for our next Kickstarter. But first, we're going to give you some news on what's happening with the company and spread the love to some other little projects as well.
Oh, it sounds like we're going into our news. It's the news.
I'm going to set a reminder for after the stream to order you a stream deck.
Ooh, so
Because that's reminded me that if we just get you a stream deck for home, you can change all these things and start the news thing without having to go up to the computer.
That's a good idea. I thought you were going to say to record some sound effects for the news, but...
No, I think at this point it's just become a tradition.
All right, there. Although last week we went off the rails, but...
Yeah,
you caught on fire.
extremely off the rails.
So what's in the news, now that we're in the news?
What's in the news? I looked at the wrong screen. So if you didn't hear, we've started a fundraiser for AAPI Women Lead. They're doing a thing called the I'm Ready movement. The goal of that charity is to help women who identify as Asian or Pacific Islander, basically to kind of help empower them and deal with some of the struggles that are unique to their experience. So we started that fundraiser a couple days ago.
Monday.
And was that?
Monday.
Yeah, on Monday. And it's going to be running through April 11th. And if you enter, for every $50, you get an entry into a chance to play a game, a private game, with Stefan and Satine Phoenix, as well as... or I guess not as well as. The people who are in the game aren't the same people as who get the gift card, right?
We have 2 rewards. It's not a raffle, it's a random drawing. I don't know.
It's a randomly assigned award. It's not a raffle.
Right. It's legally not a raffle. It's a randomly assigned award.
Yes.
There's two rewards. 2 different people will win them. And the second reward is bonkers.
Yes. So, the second reward is a $1,500 gift card for Dwarven Forge.
So a once in a lifetime chance to play a game with Stefan and Satine, or a $1,500 Dwarven Forge gift certificate. $1,500, $1,500. That's
I'll put the link for that in chat. And you know what? That $1,500 gift card can almost do? It can almost buy you
nice segue.
April's build of the month, which goes up next Tuesday. It's a castle build of the month. It's an experiment. It's the biggest one we've done. It's around $2,000, I think. And then
here's the thing.
Yes.
So we first of all, it's called Wyvern Watch Castle, and it was a name someone on Facebook came up with a name. So thank you for the hive mind. So it's each month everybody's like, hey, can you guys do an unpainted or whatever? So yes, so we're doing painted and unpainted this month, which is fantastic. It's just over $2,000. It's It's like 2,050, I think. I can't remember what the gift card is. I can look it up in a sec. So we have two versions, painted, unpainted. But then, because it wasn't enough, we also did a deluxe version. And the deluxe version throws in an inline tower and a artillery post, so it raises the price another $350 or something. So like, I think that one's $2,400, and then that has an even bigger gift card. And we also have an unpainted version of that. So we've gone from just having one simple bundle to now 4 bundles: a deluxe and a regular, painted and unpainted. So you're welcome? Question mark.
Do we know what the gift card amount is for the build of the month?
Oh, I knew this was coming.
Would you like me to look it up?
You go to the next news site. Well, unless does anybody have questions about this crazy build of the month before we?
The only question is, what is the gift card amount, and the price for the unpainted. They're asking about all the numbers.
Because that's my best.
Let's see. How much was the painted build of the month? So the regular painted build of the month is around. What's up?
All right, you ready? I got hard numbers, cold hard cash.
He's got hard numbers right here.
Okay, so the regular version unpainted, $1,454 with a $125 gift certificate. So it's just under $1,500 with a $125 gift certificate. The regular version painted is $2,004 with a $200 gift card. The deluxe unpainted is $1,735 with a $175 gift certificate, and the deluxe painted is $2,378 with a $250 gift card. That's nuts. That's wow. And it's like 11 sets. It's big. It's massive. It's fun.
It's a lot of castle. I think it's the biggest build we've done.
Yeah, it's
big.
Well, especially the deluxe. It's like it's fun. It should give you everything you need to do some castle stuff. Or if you already have some castle stuff, it'll supercharge it. And it's a fun video. I think it's good. The story's gonna be fun. And Amy 202, Amy Stead, is going to be doing the voice of the villainess, Dracarys. So that'll be exciting too.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Speaking of which,
Tuesday that launches. Oh, and we do building of the build of the month on the Tuesday, as well.
Yes, we'll be building May's on the same day that April's goes live.
Yes. And I'll need to please tune in because I need some guidance. I don't know what I don't know. We got to push this thing around a little bit and see where it goes. Yeah. What were you gonna say about Amy, or some other?
I was thinking
clever
about
segue?
Amy.
No.
I was saying, let's see. You were saying like, or if you already have like castles, it could still be appealing. And
Yeah.
Rabbit's saying that he's tempted, even though I think he has more castles than we have in the office.
Yeah. He those castle builds he put out last week were awesome. You should get a Rabbit just because you deserve it. It's got a cathedral roof set is in there, which is pretty awesome, and it's got another gatehouse for you. The LED lighted floor. It's fun.
Has it been said how long it'll be up? It'll be up through April or until it sells out, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
Which there's not a ton of these available.
No.
We weren't expecting to need like 60 of them.
I don't know how many will actually sell, but we should take bets now. I think the deluxe will sell better than the regular because
if you're spending $2,000, what's another couple hundred?
Yeah, and you get the $250 gift card, and you get that much more castle. Like it looks much more impressive having everything opened up one extra foot. So basically, I took the regular build and I extended it out a foot by putting the inline tower and the artillery post in there, and it's like, yeah.
I guess that's the thing. Like with this build of the month is really there's so much in there. You can kind of do whatever castle you need to do.
Well, that's
with it.
I was trying to give it enough. Right, it's got 4 different corner tower, or two small corner towers, one large corner tower, one square corner tower, plus two corner walls. So you have like basically 6 different corner options, some straight walls. That was why when the deluxe version, the artillery post and the inline tower give you even more wall options, plus a gate, plus a buttress, plus some roofs, plus I don't know. So you got like tons of fun stuff to push around. Anyway, and it comes on in some terrain trays. It looks good. It's exciting. Goes live next week. What's next?
And people are wondering if we have a general theme idea for the next building of the build of the month.
You know what? You'll have to tune in on Tuesday to find out.
I thought so. Let's see.
Maybe I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe. No.
How many deluxes are there? I guess the deluxes would be limited by the same set that the regular one is.
Yeah, there's one weak link set. It's the corner walls, I think, are the set that are killing us. Yeah, it's weird. There's in the castle lineup of what we have in stock. There's a couple of holes, and we of course need curved castle walls at some point and whatever. Yeah, I'm excited to go back to castles at some point, someday.
Yeah, people are asking when we're gonna do a bigger castle restock as well.
Well, when they buy all this castle stuff.
when we sell the castles we already have.
Yeah. Just buy all the Necromancer's keeps and we'll start talking. All right, what else? What's next?
I only got a couple other things left. So another store kind of. Well, we got 2 store updates. One is that we need a tiny bit more time on rolling out the site update with the updated filters for navigating the store.
I'm shocked that we're not doing something.
We're just doing a little bit of tweaking. It's not a big delay. It's just like,
you know who you can blame? You blame Rabbit Burner. We had a few people poke around on the filters and poke some holes in it, and we got 20 pages of feedback. So we're yeah. There were. It turns out there were some holes in the armor. So yeah, thanks, Rabbit. So it's gonna be awesome. We're just there. Turns out there's some logic things. When we were devising the filters, I didn't understand the overriding logic. I thought the filters overrode the collections, but the collections actually supersede the filters, so that then I don't know. We'll get there. We need another week or so, or something. But we'll get there.
And then the other store update is you know how we recently launched the Vorpal bundle in the store? We sold through our initial stock of that very quickly.
1 week.
I don't know the exact amount of days. I think it was like a couple days or something.
It was a
week. We restocked it though, so like it's not out of stock. It's much faster for us to restock that than it is any of the Dwarvenite. We don't have to.
Well, because Thad threw 200 sets in his truck and drove 90 miles an hour down from Albany to our warehouse. That's what happened.
He literally like drove him to our warehouse, right?
Literally, yeah. No, he got 200 things, threw them in his truck, and like just floored it to Connecticut. And he got there like as the last one like sold out. He like pulled up and he's like, argh! And he just starts like unloading purple arms into the warehouse. So they were like, there was no gap.
So thank you guys for supporting that.
True story.
It's like a new thing for us. Like we want to. One of the things we want to do as we grow as a company is kind of partner with other small companies to help kind of share our platform. It's like the whole rising tide lifts all boats thing. So this Vorpal bundle was kind of our first step into that, and seeing it be met with all the support is really nice. And I'm excited for when we start carrying the Ghost Tiny brushes.
Woo! Which actually may be a little while because we did so long. I don't think we're not going to do the dry brushes now because fundamentally they're not great for terrain. They're not great for Dwarvenite is softer than the most miniature material, so they're not fantastic for 95% of our stuff. They're not great for. So Paint Team didn't want to sell them because they didn't want people to like get them and try and use them all over the train and be disappointed. But we're gonna do the Ghost Tiny detail brushes, the Ghost Tiny brushes, not the Ghost dry brushes when those are out. But
yeah, And
But you
then
can still buy them.
the other thing we want to plug is our friends at Elderwood Academy are the stars of our Kickstarter of the week this time, which is actually a thing that I'm happy we've made an official thing.
We
It's
need
fun to force us. Yeah, we need it. We're gonna need we're gonna need some graphics for that now.
Kickstarter. Yeah.
But at least the sound effects are taken care of.
So Kickstarter of the week.
Oh,
What's it called? It's so. I have to look it up.
Elderwood Academy. They're some of our friends. They've helped us have tables at cons before. Very cool group of folks, and they basically made little spell book dice holders that go on your keychain. I think
like tiny. They're tiny. Well, they have these spell book dice holders which are really nice, right? They're leather bound. Everything they do is it's very analog, right? They're very us. It's wood, and they have these big ancient presses and all this stuff. It's really nice stuff. They make really nice deck boxes if you play Magic. It's very art in our style stuff, and wonderful folks, great booth partners. They hosted us at PAX, the last convention of the world, PAX Unplugged 2 Februarys ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's tiny dice. Let me see if I have this. Wait, hold on.
We missed the whole February.
Oh yeah. No, we hope this whole year.
The smallest month. Oh man. Well, Nate's gone.
So these are their little. Oh, you know, I'll go to the close-up camera. They you know who's making their Norse Foundry is making the dice. Once it Drew, really nice guy. How's it? Right here, man. Who's on first?
I just assembled some of my Norse Foundry minis for the first time a couple days ago.
How'd that go?
Honestly, it wasn't as hard as I expected. It was my first time actually doing. So if you guys aren't familiar, it's the adventures and adversaries line of minis where they have a bunch of different options for each arm and the head and stuff on a little wheel, and so you just kind of decide and then you kind of glue it together. I haven't done that much. I guess kit bashing is what they call it, generally speaking. I've never done that before, but it came out really well. I made 2 Eric Okran, one bard and one I guess sorcerer, and I'm really happy with how they came out.
And if you're really industrious, you can put magnets in the arms and flip them out. But anyway, these are their little keychain hex chests that they made, and so the spellbooks are a similar size, and these are the dice. They're tiny, right? So this is a Skistraisa. This is the villain of the Bill of the Month, right? That's how big, yeah.
Yeah, those are really small. Yeah, wow, that.
Yeah, they're tiny.
I'm just thinking about how large a D20 usually is in my hands, and that's.
Well, here, why don't I'll compare to.
Wow.
Here's our Horizon.
It's like the basilisks.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's tiny.
Huh.
Yeah. So anyway, so they go. They're wonderful folks. They make really nice stuff. Good people to support.
Nice.
All right. What else do we have in the new ed?
The last thing we have in the news, to make sure we haven't forgot anything. No, we have not. If you missed it, if you didn't get the email or went to spam or something, if you were a Wildlands backer, we put out an update yesterday. It's got some pictures of the test shots that we showed last week, and pictures of Paint Masters that we're actually going to show today. If you haven't had a chance to see them yet. Production is rolling along, and so far, the paint is basically the masters they sent us basically match what Aaron did in-house 1-to-1.
Yeah,
it's
the paint
stuff.
So here's show you slightly higher res photos than we had up on that we had in the Kickstarter update. What's exciting too is how closely it matches to our revised Dread Hollow paint. Right, that was the genesis of the apparently controversial Dread Hollow paint simplification was, as Erin was prepping the paint for Wildlands, was really distraught because she was like trying to figure out what to match to. She's like, I'm working on these swamp banks, and she's like, what I hold up this one piece and it matches, and I hold up this other piece and it doesn't match. Here, those swamp banks. And she's like, what do I, what's going on? What do I do? And because everything was pretty inconsistent, because it was too difficult to get the consistency from the factory. So we simplified.
Oh, bring the mic around, I think, is what they're saying.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
No, you got it there.
Yeah. So basically, she couldn't
talk at the computer. I don't know.
I don't know. It's moving
Ignore me.
Yeah. So we had, from any given batch, the Dread Hollow paint was all over the place, and we needed to have something that was consistent. A, so that people would get stuff that was consistent, and B, so that our Wildlands paint would match consistently with Dread Hollow. So thus the simplification, so they could actually execute it. Right. The factory just couldn't properly execute consistently what we had. Like, it just wasn't, it was just all over the place. You never knew what you were going to get. I have stuff from 3 different batches, even from the same print run. I have stuff that is just wildly mismatched. It's all over the place. Anyway, so what's exciting is this new stuff matches really well with our updated Dread Hollow paint, as well as it matches the paint masters that they did in house, and so we're really excited by the paint. Casting has been an adventure. Just at every I don't know. We're just hitting so many little details and challenges, and I don't know. These, like, the latest as of today is the teardrop inserts don't line up consistently, and there's just, we want everything to be perfect, or as close as we can deliver it to be, and it's a lot of tweaking. The other one we'll have an update in a week or two on. We're trying to work out these holes, the square rod holes, which are now circular, which are larger. They're supposed to be a 4x4 millimeter square, but that wasn't castable, so it became a 5.5 millimeter circle. But a 5.5 millimeter circle is actually like significantly larger than a 4x4 square, and I don't know. It's just we'll get there. We'll tell you. We'll update you on that. But anyway, so we're plugging along on Wildlands. We don't have any hard dates to give you yet, but the all the stuff that's powering through looks great. Like, we're the things, when the stuff is done and ready, it's going to be fantastic. It's just a matter of getting it done and ready. So we'll keep you posted. Do we have any questions on Wildlands?
Yeah, we have some people wondering if we have any updates on the Bayou barge compatibility with the new boat. Have we figured that out yet? Or old boat?
No. We're like, Toby's kicking out a new master today, I think. We're trying that. We're getting there. We have it's basically just having to like tweak it by millimeters, right? To like try and like get the exact shape down. And we can get it to match to itself, or we can get it to match to the old one, but for some reason it doesn't want to match to the old one and to itself, and I don't know why. And it doesn't. We made one once, and I don't know why to get it again. But I'm sorry, Topulus. Sorry, Nick. I don't know if we're gonna have to do. I don't know if we have another boat in us. I think we, the rising tide may lift all ships, but not this one. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Will the that moved. Will the gridless texture mats, etc., be readily available after fulfillment?
Yes. We will throw everything up in the web store after fulfillment, whenever that is.
I think a lot of them are wondering if we're going to restock them after that initial store stock.
You know what? That's too far of a future question for us right now, but yeah, I don't know. Right now, we're just trying to get Wildlands done and out, and then we'll kind of see what the future holds for the product line.
Is there a rough timeline from once the Kickstarter is complete to you selling the items in store?
It's usually frustratingly longer than you want it to be, because we want to make sure everybody has their stuff before we put it on the store, and then we also have to we have to clean up the graphics. We have to basically do a bunch of A, graphic cleanup, B, sort of putting everything in the shop, and like there's a whole bunch of back end stuff that needs to happen to get it up there. And it's probably all going to be on a crash course with the new Kickstarter. So it's like it's probably going to just be the worst time. It's going to be like horrible overlap, whatever. So I don't know what the timeline is, but obviously we want to get it up there as soon as we can, so we can start selling it. But there's a bunch of steps that have to happen between A and C. There's that hidden B step, but
yeah,
we will get it up as soon as we can. And if you're on our mailing list, we'll blast it out. We'll let you know when it's coming, or if you watch the show, which you're doing right now, we'll tell you when it's coming.
So yeah, that's the thing. Is like when it comes to a lot of the stuff with getting things to fit together, it's really just a thing where it's just about like tweaking the casting by small amounts until you get like you find like what the exact amount is to get the perfect fit.
Well, and here's the crazy thing. So I think we've talked about it before. I should pull up some pictures for next time. So we have this horribly analog process where PVC shrinks. Our Dwarven Knight shrinks about 3% after it's cast. So they have to make expanded masters, which are roughly 3% larger than the original piece. So they make a casting and a thing that expands ever so slightly, and then make our mold out of that. So then the Dwarven Knight is cast like 3% too large, and then shrinks down to size. So it's like there's a lot of weird analog. It's like analog Photoshop, like where you're just enlarging and then shrinking to compensate for the shrink. It's like So it's a really weird, archaic. This is like what alchemists would be doing. Like you're just sort of, working in this weird minutia, and it's I don't know. It's a very analog and unpredictable and often painful process, but it yields awesome results. So that's why we're here. Any other Wildlands-y stuff before we go into the future?
I think that is all the questions. Oh, if you own Dreadhall and Wildlands Untamed, will there be any need for more forest terrain? If you want to make like an absolutely... It depends on how large of a build you want to make, I guess. But like, you've got Untamed.
You should probably wait...
Dreadhall,
yeah, wait until Kickstarter 10. Wilder Lands.
Will the shop go back to listing pieces in a bundle? Everything up to and including Dungeon of Doom lists exactly what pieces and how many are included by SKU.
Yeah, we're working on that. It's a thing. Yes, we're what we're working on is a database, a piece database that has everything. It has all of our pieces and all the SKUs, the names, the pertinent things, what set it's in, what batteries it takes if it's an LED. Like we have a pretty cool database in the works, and at some point we're gonna after we get the new site up, we're gonna basically have the database draw. We're gonna automate the set, filling out those set composition things. So there'll be like a little drop-downy thing or whatever, a collapsible thing in the set listing that'll then auto-generate what's in the set if you open it up from the database. Because manually, the problem is trying to put all this stuff in manually. There's just a bazillion errors and whatever, and so we're gonna have it's in the works. Because yes, I know it's really helpful, and we'll get there.
And then because we have a lot to talk about today, I'm just gonna take this last question, and then we'll wrap up. Yeah. Any updates on a potential Dungeon of Doom reorganization like the Caverns core sets?
Yes, we're very, very slowly plugging through it. Chuck and Michelle are masterminding some dungeon. We're starting with the core sets, and then we're sort of working out from there. So there's a classic dungeon mega core set and a vaulted dungeon mega core set in the works, and then there's a vaulted. We already ordered a vaulted core to match the classic core, and then we're sort of go from there, as well as remastering a couple of the KS1 pieces like the secret door wall and the diagonal wall and the stairs floor. So we'll get those in there, and yeah, so there's some dungeon movement. Dungeon momentum. But we'll keep you posted as that evolves. Let's go back to
All right. Yeah. Now we're half hour in. Let's get into the reason I think most of you are here tonight. Let's talk about the next Kickstarter.
Yes. Oh, wait. I have my.
Oh, you got something else?
Our new weekly segment. There's gotta be. What's the stupid thing Nate's doing? There's gotta be a better way. So, this is a 20-second question for mini painters out there. Let me see. So I'm painting a dragon, and it has like a flight stand, right? So it sits on this. Let me get close up. Right, it sits on this little flight stand, but I didn't want to paint it on the flight stand because I don't want to get blue on this and whatever. And so there's got to be a better way to do this. So you're gonna like this, Chris. So this was my solution. Wait, can you see this? There you go, wider. Now tell me there's a better way than I have a chuck for my impact driver to take a drill bit, which is removable. So I drilled in to the spot where the flight stand goes. So I just drilled up, and then I just left it on the thing, and I'm just holding the chuck to paint it. But how do people do this? And like this is not. There's got to be a better way than like, because this thing weighs like 2 pounds or something. It's like a solid steel chuck that like, please tell me, Obi-Wan, help me here. How am I supposed to do this? Like, what's the normal way to do this?
Currently everybody's just laughing at you.
Right? Is there another way? Somebody tell me there's another way.
Gentleman Wake says blue tack, green stuff or putty on a kid's letter block or a block of wood. Yak.
But there's nothing like it. It's like, there's no flat surface, right? I literally have to drill, like.
Yeah, they're making fun of you for drilling into it. Well, I'm just surprised you didn't drill into it on stream.
There's a hole already. I just drilled into the existing hole, so it's invisible. You won't know it's there.
You can do that with a dowel glued into a block of wood.
And then I drill the dowel into the dragon. Is that what you're telling me?
You get your hands painted green stuff on a cork.
No, but how do I? And then just jam the cork into its belly. But then there's an impact point, like.
Everybody just keeps saying dowel rod over and over.
Okay, so buy a $2 dowel and stick it in the existing hole.
Hold the mini with your hands and smear the paint around with your fingers.
All right, so dowel rod, huh? All right, I knew
painter's tape on the flight stand.
Painter's what? Yeah,
painter's tape on the flight stand.
I did that on the white dragon, and I thought it was still kind of like cantankerous to get under there because the flight stand is wide, or I thought this. I don't know. Somehow in my brain, this was a better plan. I don't know.
Well,
dowel.
At least we have our clip for social next week.
Yeah.
Just you pulling up this dragon with a drill bit in it.
It worked.
It worked.
That's the name of the segment. It worked. Well, next week we'll see what silly thing I'm doing, and you can tell me how to do it better.
That is the most active I've seen this chat in a very long time. I'm trying to keep up with it, but that got people engaged.
It's dowel. Who knew? I've got square. Yeah, I don't know. I need to get some dowels. I guess in the lineup. I have a square thing.
I can't believe you drilled a dragon.
Well, I was like, I needed a solution.
Aren't you getting that Tiamat?
Yeah, you have to. Like it's just to see.
Are you gonna put it on a bandsaw or something? Like, what are you? That thing's huge.
I'm thinking of epoxying it to the roof of my car. Because all these cars look the same these days. I'm not like a car person. I don't know. So if you in a parking lot, like you're at Home Depot, you don't know anything. If you just look for the 2-foot Tiamat, you know where your car is, right? It's a pretty easy way.
It's like a masthead.
But on the roof, because I need to see it in the parking lot.
Like when people would have those Mustangs with like the little figures on like the front of the trunk.
Yeah,
you just have a
2-foot wingspan.
Dragon mounted
just epoxy it onto the roof of my car. It's totally logical. Anyway, let's talk about the future. So a different future than that. So we're doing a Kickstarter in coming up. So here's where we're at. Uh, this is this episode is really good. This is rich. So we're doing our annual Kickstarter in cities. So I'll give the quick overview for those of you who've seen it before. For those of you that are new, sorry you had to sit through 30 minutes of awesomeness to get here. So we're going back to the city. We're going to expand our existing city builder, city stuff, the Fieldstone and Tudor. And we're going to add 2 new architectural styles. Rustic wood, great for barns, warehouses, taverns, shops, anything made out of wood, like a farmhouse, stables, every building ever. Bandit, hideout, thieves guild, etc., etc. And then fancy stone, a more elegant stone of ashlar bricks with some decorative bits. Great for temples and churches and monasteries and guild houses and noble manors and anything sort of fancy and elegant, not like our plain fieldstone, but very masoned bricks and the like. We will not be. Here's where everybody's gonna get all riled up, right? So we're not doing catacombs. We're not doing more wildlands ruins. We're not doing Palisades. We're not doing everything else, right? We're doing, yeah. It's a lot of, but we are gonna have a very full Kickstarter with just those elements, right? And there will be some ground cover, but we're not expanding the sewers. We're not expanding the Imperial streets. We're just basically focusing on the buildings. Core premise is everything will be designed to be built on top of a surface rather than in line with the surface. So it'll be very battle mat friendly, terrain tray friendly, wargamer friendly. That being said, you will be able to build inline. A bulk of the stuff is going to work really well inline. A few of the things that don't work inline, like if you want to build your Imperial streets and there's this like crazy thing, we don't have a backfill piece for it, you put it on the sidewalks and you build it up on top of and it lines up with the streets and you'll be okay. And we will have all sorts of cool photos of that when we get there. We're not abandoning you. If you have $600 worth of Imperial streets, you'll still be able to use this stuff. We'll have some nice transition. We'll have a couple of transition bits for the Imperial streets to get to cobblestones or to ground or whatever, and we're gonna make it's a world. It'll be a continuous world. We will. We're gonna have a bunch of new ground cover offerings. We're trying to do some new texture mats because those were super popular in Wildlands. We'll have some new terrain trays. Assuming we don't run into any manufacturing disasters with the battle boards, we'll have some new battle boards. So far, that's the one thing we haven't run into manufacturing disasters with. That and the shimmer fronds.
Yeah, we're adding shimmer fronds into
everybody free shimmer fronds. You can send them to. We're doing pledges. We're trying to change the pledge structure and have pledges be target dollar amounts. $50 pledge, $100 pledge, $250 pledge, $500 pledge, $1,000, whatever. I'm just making up numbers right now, but increments going up. So your stretch goals will be tied to your pledge increment, not like a specific thing. Within that increment, you can buy. If you get the $100 pledge, you can buy. We will have bundles, right? Sample bundles of, hey, here's the roadside shrine, the cool tavern, the noble's garderobe, whatever the heck the thing is. If there's a $100 pledge, we'll have at least 3 bundles that are $100 bundles that you could buy, or you could just buy, all the add-ons you want or whatever. Or you get the $500 pledge, you buy 2 $100 bundles and $300 worth of add-ons or whatever. The idea is to let you kind of mix and match however you see fit, while letting everybody participate in the stretch goals. We don't know how the stretch goals are going to work yet, so don't blow up the chat with a whole bunch of questions about how those are going to work yet. So because all this is still, it's still very ephemeral until we have until we've got the we have to have a bunch of pieces to start building out some sets to sort of see what makes sense. But we will get there, and we'll keep you posted as we go along the way. But that's the concept is we want everybody to be able to participate in the stretch goals and kind of tailor their pledge. And then we don't have to have a bazillion different pledge levels or a bunch of confusing pledge levels and whatnot. We don't have to have painted, unpainted pledge levels. All of a sudden, you just boom, dollar amounts, and you go. And the sets will be recurring universal sets. So they'll be like rustic wood core set A, rustic wood core set B, rustic wood core set C, rustic wood core mega set or whatever, and then tavern dressing, shop dressing, whatever. So the tavern is the tavern dressing shop plus the mega pack or whatever. That bundle hits you at $250 and it's in your pledge level and whatever. So there's going to be something like that, a bunch of packs, similar to kind of build of the month style, where you take 4 packs to make a sample bundle, and those packs will be sort of recurring through a bunch of places, and you can sort of get whatever packs you're excited about. And then everything that we're doing, even the pledge levels, will kind of show you how these packs work and how big things are and whatnot. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just riffing here now, like maybe the stretch goals, maybe we go back to putting stretch goals in the packs rather than in the pledges, because then you can really focus. Like, let's say you have a $200 pledge and you just want to get wood, but you don't want stone stretch goals. If the stretch goals are in the packs, then the packs that you're getting that are wood would have wood stretch goals. And I don't know. We will sort out what it is exactly, but we will try and do something that works for everybody. But fundamentally, the goal is to let everybody participate in the stretch goals, whether or not you're doing a build your own. Everything is essentially a build your own pledge. So we'll figure out how that one works. And we're launching in October, at some point between October 1st and October 31st. I'm saying the 1st, but
yeah, I like the idea of not putting the stretch goals into the pledges themselves, just because with the nature of a city, since everything is basically using the same building blocks to do different things, it'd be kind of nice for those stretch goal packs to just be like different ways to flavor an environment or a city. So it's like
it has to either be a menu that you can choose from or baked into the. They need to either be part of the packs that you're buying or a separate menu of packs that you can buy. So like you qualify the $100 stretch goal, the $100 pledge qualifies for 1 stretch goal pack. The $250 one qualifies for 3. The $500 one qualifies for 6 or whatever. And you pick from a menu of packs, and maybe they grow as we unlock more stuff. So there's a basic wood pack, a basic stone pack, and a fancy wood pack, a fancy stone pack, a decor pack. I don't know what it is yet. We have to kind of figure out what the things are as they go. But so you either need to be able to pick from a menu of stretch goal things or have them in the packs that you're buying so that they make sense. So you can kind of tailor what you're getting. So, yes, I agree with you. So okay, that's our overview. Does anybody have any questions about that before we show some of the stuff and talk about the new stuff?
Any thoughts on wooden palisades for Forge or something similar? It's something we talked about and we decided we aren't doing this time.
Yep.
But it's something that we do. It's something that Nate personally
I'm dying.
is excited about.
Dying to do. I've mocks. We'll get there. Palisades will happen, not right now. But
I was playing Monster Hunter a couple days ago and just like looking at like the environments, and I was like, man, I want us to build stuff like this.
Does it work on a PlayStation 3?
Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World was on PS4. I don't think they had one on the PS3. Okay.
I don't even have a controller, but I have a PlayStation 3.
The new one just came out on Switch. I don't know if you got a Switch.
No. Not. I got an email that they're discontinuing the PlayStation Store.
I just need to show you some videos and stuff of like the environments in Monster Hunter, because I think you would get a blast out of
I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. What questions do we have before we look at some stuff?
Not a whole lot. Mostly comments. This is mostly stuff we've talked about before. Will we finally get cow ammo?
We will see. That would probably happen in the next castle Kickstarter, whenever that is. But we'll see. I don't know. We don't have any siege stuff planned currently.
Yeah, for the most part it's jokes. Uh,
Oh, I like jokes. I've heard of these.
okay. So
No,
in that case,
just one. Take
Eric
one.
Waldorf's
One.
wondering if you're the leader of the Itty Bitty City Committee.
I need a witty comeback to that. I don't have one.
Unfortunately, you're not a member of the Itty Bitty Witty Committee,
Nope.
so
It was a
they're gonna
battle of wits, and I was unarmed. Oh.
tons of questions. Any plans to include past Kickstarters in the new/future Kickstarter? We try not to reprint anything because these are already large undertakings for our factory,
Yep.
and it's just easier to keep it. When you get into like molds and like what is, because multiple pieces will be in a mold, so like to include pieces that are already in molds in the new stuff that we're making, it gets real weird
Well,
real fast.
fundamentally, the purpose of these Kickstarters is to develop our new product lines, right? We are because it's expensive for us to tool this stuff, and it's only affordable for us to do these massive runs when they're massive runs. So we really want to focus on getting out a bunch of new product rather than tying up production with a bunch of older product. Uh, so we can develop as much new stuff as possible.
Oh, here's a good one. And we'll actually have some stuff to show for this later, but we can still address this now. What pieces will be made to update the stone and Tudor parts to the new styles?
Oh, this is a good question. I will do a show
Yeah,
and tell on that in
yeah, because we do
moment.
have some relevant stuff to show today for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, uh, what? You gotta calm down. I'm working. Please stop. Oh my god. Unless somebody breaks into the house, leave me alone, please.
You have a guard cat?
I wish. She won't leave me alone. All right. Let's see. Will you be doing any more pre-order events? In not currently. We'll never say never.
These are facts. We will never say never.
Yeah. We don't have any current plans. Um let's see. I think you're setting up all the stuff. Yeah, you're setting up the stuff.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, let's pull up some of these. All right, so we've got. This is this is just a fun schematic that Toby put together. The new corner post plan. All right, so the old corner posts have. You see this? It looks like this. They have a.
Oh, Mike.
Thank you. Old ones look like this. We're now putting holes in them, as you can see in the diagram, so that we can attach stuff on the outside, sort of skins to wrap around them and facades to bridge them, as well as stack them on top of each other with the top hole. That's exciting. What do we have? Showing. Let's just look at some of the new stuff. So the rustic wood is going to look something like this. We've sort of showed these before, but I'll give you a quick overview in case you haven't seen it. Two different sides of the same piece, right? So the piece in the bottom left is like the upkept one. The one in the back is the ramshackle one.
So basically, you're gonna have 4 different skins for your wooden walls.
No, these are 2 walls.
The 2 walls?
So there's a front and a back, right?
Well,
So,
that's what I mean. Is like based on which side you have
oh
facing out.
yeah. So we use skin as a separate. A skin as a piece that goes on top of a.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But so
yeah, there's 2 different sides.
Two reversible walls.
Every wall has 2 sides, just
Yeah.
as every rose has its thorn, and every cowboy sings a sad song. Anyway, and the floor we'll have like a plain floor, and a parquet floor, fancy town, and we'll talk about double-sided floors when we get to things that have changed. This would be like a plain corner post. I think we showed that before. We're trying to put the knot holes, sort of incorporate the side holes into as knot holes in the wood. And here's some new stuff you've seen. This is we're gonna do a fancy corner post, and that will have holes. There'll be like a hole right where that horizontal meets the vertical groove. There'll be the little holes. They'll be camouflaged in there, conceptually. And the purpose of this is to change the look of your wood. Like you class up that same wood wall, suddenly now looks elegant if it has this classy corner post next to it. But also, this is ideal for your Tudor walls. If you have your Tudor wall inside this nice fancy post, it's an even classier building. So this will essentially be a new Tudor corner post for if you want to upgrade your old cities to have the new holes for doing skins and facades. This will be your answer, but it also plays super well with the new wood, so you get to double dip. And speaking of cool new things, we're going to have a double high. This one isn't finished yet. The designs aren't all on there, but there will be a double high corner post for doing big, for your big. For we're gonna have some double high walls, so when you're in your big, huge tavern or your great hall or whatever, this big wood wall is going up, we'll have corner posts for that. And there would just be this one. It won't be in the plain style, and it won't be, this is it. There would just be one big plain wood one like this, or fancy wood one like this.
Are double high the height of 2 walls or 2 + 1 floor?
2 + 1 floor. So that you put this onto it. That's a fantastic question. Give that person a raffle ticket. So when you build it on top of a floor, it gets you up exactly 2 stories high. So a total of 4 inches high once you're on top of a floor. That's a great question. So then for fancy stone, let's see what I'm talking about. The basic wall is going to look something like this. So it's very different from our existing field stone, right? Our existing field stone is something like this. Right, so we have square ashlar bricks. It'll probably be a whiter, creamier color, probably a little bit of color on this decorative thing. The top has a decorative bit on there too, which should look really nice. 2 floors. In other words, one is going to be sort of a plain floor. Oh, where is that tiling? Oh, I have a picture of the sculpt tiled out a whole bunch so you can see the patterns when they're tiled out. It's really cool. It's a Nina sketch. It's a good one. And then there's a fancy one that'll have something like this on it. And the sides, we were planning on doing this beautiful scroll work on the sides, which you'll see when the buildings are layered up when you're looking from the side. But our HPEG system is wreaking havoc on this. We'll talk about that shortly. All right, and then all right, so I think that's everything for the. Let's do this. Now, that's it for the sort of. We're there, but let me go to. What's this? Microphone. Hello. There you go.
Yeah, now all the questions are coming in.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So we are going to, for the existing, where's my sweet spot? Rip.
Yeah, everybody write down your questions just in case we don't get to them right away because chat's moving pretty fast.
Write them down.
So just go ahead and write them down because there'll be a section where we just take a bunch of questions.
They're like, oh, I wrote them down in chat. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, chat moves.
Turns out. So we're going to have sort of standard. So we have existing in our Tudor existing city, we have 4x4 floors. In our existing fieldstone, we have 4x4 floor and 2x4 floor. We're going to add 2x2 floors, and then the new stuff is going to have all 3 sizes of floors. So the big one is these 2x2 floors are going to let you have sort of ultimate modularity, right? People are asking for us to bring back the medieval building set. This is essentially a way to bring back the medieval building set while also keeping the compatibility with the existing city builder system, so you can use all your stuff. So right, so you can use your here's a little thing, right? You can use your existing. So these are already existing pieces. Oh, that one. Doesn't exist. There will be one with a door, but there's an existing one that's just plain. So you can do a straight wall. You can do a corner wall. We're using mostly existing pieces with a new floor. Everything integrates. Something like that, right? So this is going to give you kind of all the functionality. Plus, you can swap it out and put a door in instead of a wall, or put a window in or whatever. So this alone is going to give you all the modularity, hopefully, that you could need, plus the 2x4 floor, give you some faster, easier building, especially for corridors and the like, and then the 4x4 floor. And all the new 4x4 floors will have where is it? Do I have one? Yeah. We'll have an insert that'll friction fit in there to seal them up, so you can also have a stair hole down, or use it as a concealed trapdoor or whatever, something like. As well as we'll probably see. We're working on. We'll have some diagonal something, right? Diagonal wall that we're looking at. We're probably going to do that in Tudor and stone also. We'll see. So then you could add that into your lineup, and that gives you a whole bunch of new building possibilities, particularly in conjunction with this. And then, let me bring up this thing. This will get people excited. We have somewhere. Oh yeah, this is a fun one. Look at.
Don't say anything important until you're back on mic.
Right. We have this guy, which is a it's an old fieldstone style wall with an arch that takes all the portcullis walls from Dungeon of Doom and original Dungeons. So you can put your vertical bars, your portcullis bars, that solid door, solid wood. So that should be a lively addition. I like that guy. Other bits for I should go over here. Other bits for the old. Trying to think of other things for old Tudor and.
Did you mention that like the corner posts are one way to kind of bring the Tudor in? I think we were mentioning the fancy stone as like a way to, or not fancy stone, the nicer like wood corner posts. Like, well, I guess the Tudor works with any of the wooden corner posts.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of, you'll be able to mix and match a lot of this wood. Like you could use that parquet wood floor with your Tudor stuff. There'll be a lot of mixing and matching there. And we may do these like character corner if we're doing these like cool diagonals or whatever. We may do these in Tudor and Fieldstone also. We'll see. I don't know, if to sort out how that all pans out. But we're definitely going to give you add to your toolbox for those, as well as this whole new toolbox of cool new rustic wood and fancy stone. Fancy stone still needs a name, but we'll get there. Any questions about these basics before we go? Oh, we should show.
Yeah, there's been a number of questions about this. Somebody was asking if there's any chance of double wide diagonals.
Double wide diagonal. You mean like double long?
Double long. I mean, just like a longer diagonal section.
This is the closest we're looking at right now, which is a 4x4 that has a diagonal portion. But what you can do, if you want to, you can build this up against. I don't know if you can see that. You can do this for a pretty long diagonal run. Do I have another one? And it looks really cool. Right, so that's... Right, so then there's a straight there. I should have just pre-built a bunch of plain buildings. So Dude, who's got time for that?
Somebody was mentioning that they're having a hard time imagining what the final builds are going to look like, more so than with any other Kickstarter. Although it might also be just because this is the first time we've shown stuff this early before we actually have like.
Yeah, we usually show stuff kind of assembled. Like this is like you're seeing how the sausage is made. I love saying that.
Yeah, but this is what the beginning of like every.
This is our process. Like. Yeah, but here's is a pretty long diagonal run, right? That's 6-inch diagonal, or I don't know what the hypotenuse is. 6-inch on the legs and whatever the hypotenuse is. The square root of 72.
Any chance of a big door to go with the double high posts?
Confirmed.
My favorite part about that is you talk quietly enough that I actually couldn't hear what you said. So they know more than I do for a bit.
Mm. But
spiral staircases. Somebody asked.
My body language told you. We've been looking at spiral staircases. We'll see where it goes. I wanted to show the skins quick. I know we showed them previously, but might as well do a refresher. Jump. No, that's the wrong direction. I can't zoom in. Let me know if it's out of focus too. I can't.
It looks in focus for me. I mean, I've seen things under delay though.
That might help. Yeah, it's a little closer. Okay. So the new corner posts, right, will have this sort of thing. The idea is you can then like dress them up with. Imagine this was a decorative post, or whatever, or in the. Toby's made all these really cool 3D print geometry, right? So this is it's a good example, right? You could dress it up with a thing like this, and then put like a pole accessory in there. And this guy's my like go-to pole accessory guy because he's just adorable. So anyway, then this could go on a variety of different posts and whatnot. So we're gonna have a bunch of fun, cool, decorative, and interesting bits like this that can give you new functionality off your basic corner posts. And so then it also will be stuff that you can play with your existing city stuff. You could, especially if you use those new, like use the new decorative stone corner or wood corner post, or maybe say there's a new stone corner post, then you can use these on your old fieldstone buildings. You can have new facade bits too, like the this thing.
Yeah, saying they can't see a roof on this.
Haha.
But that's just because you haven't seen the modular roof system in action, I don't think.
I think we showed it, didn't we? I don't know.
We did, but maybe they weren't here for it, or maybe they just haven't seen it in action over that particular build. You can cover a lot of good stuff with it, though.
Yeah. All right, so that's like I think that's all the basic bits.
Any chance of floor to ceiling window inserts for the short walls?
Floor to ceiling?
Floor to ceiling window inserts.
I don't know what we have a window slated, a narrow wall window slated. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It probably won't be floor to ceiling because you need to have some material for this to be able to insert in, if that makes sense. Like similarly, like the door is going to have material on the top and the bottom, so it can be hinged. So it'd be hard to do it could be like a similar, you could have a window as large as this door, the largest, but I don't know. We will see where it goes. What was I just going to show people with the
there's a lot of questions from a lot of different directions right now.
Yeah, I bet. The basic, we'll show the roof. So we're working on a roof thing. So we're working on a roof thing that's going to let you do modular roofs, right? Because if you have all this modularity, you need roofs that can work for it. So we're trying to be able to do stuff like that or like this. And Toby's been kicking out of this great 3D geometry that we've been messing with. Boy, not being in studio mode I feel like I'm just rolling the dice when I switch modes because I've got like 40 different scenes that are just named all over the place. Like this is triple cam. Chris and close.
Keeping stream settings clean is difficult.
Yeah, who's good? Yeah. So we're working on a roof system that is let's go wide again. As modular as the core building blocks. So we have, what is this, V2? We're on V3, I think. I don't know where the V3 is. Here's a B3. That's right. Yeah, I guess we have a valley, a hip, a shed somewhere. Boom, 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 and then a diagonal, and boop, boop, boop. We have all those guys here. So believe it or not, all these with these four core shapes, you can cover basically anything building using the two diagonals that I showed, the 2x2, the 4x4, and the 2x4. I take it back. You need a peak to do odd number things. So there's a peak also. So those five pieces in conjunction let you cover essentially anything that you can build with those. And the idea is that they'll stick together using some sort of peg system that we're working on, so you can kind of take the pieces and make sort of make these elaborate roofs and then lift them off as one piece to reveal your sections of your build as you play. And then we have some fun stuff like these overhang. Is this the right? No, it's the wrong. Where's the one with the right pegs? Is this the current? No.
Some of the people from the Discord are curious if any changes have been made due to the stuff that Mad Roboticist has been doing.
He pushed us over doing the peak so that we could do odd number. Like everything was multiples of 4, and this lets you do multiples of 2. So you can do a 6-inch, 6-inch in both directions if you want, or in one direction at least. But I don't know. Mostly we're just trying really hard to keep the piece count down because there's so many things that we want to do that all end up taking a lot of pieces. But yeah, it's been really helpful. He's been doing a lot of quiet dev work for us by just exploring what you can do in the space with what geometry opens up if you do this piece, or what happens if you do this piece, or what does this family of pieces do, or where are the weaknesses in this family of pieces. Where's I wanted to show this overhang piece is one of my favorites. The soffit.
How about a gambrel roof? I don't know what gambrel is. What's gambrel?
I'm thinking of the mansard roof. I don't know, what is a gambrel roof.
Gambrel roof.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a barn roof. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, so yes, we have this. So this is this like overhang thing we're working on, so you can give it some attitude. And what's fun about this is it also can plug into. I just want a door. Oh. Wait, seriously? Double doors.
Now they're all talking about windows. Man.
Yeah. You know what? Remember how I said my castle stuff wasn't sorted? I have my castle stuff sorted now, by the way. So you can do this. Speaking of fun things, I'll show you the gambrel in a second.
Oh yeah, the little overhang.
So using the holes in the sides of the main corner post, you can be able to pop these on there and do that, which is a fun little gag. We have this piece. Where's the little shed roof piece in play? Currently, this is the old version, right? So then this would also let you do something if you had, say,
it's just a mess of foam and plastic and borgonite on that desk.
It's kind of like a portal into my mind. It's just Right.
How about a Jalusi window? I feel like people are just making stuff up to get me to.
Yeah. So if you could do this sort of a thing. Remember these, and then oh man, I'm off the camera. Right, you could do that sort of thing, but you could also use two of these in conjunction with these guys to do like a barn, whatever it was, the Gambino roof or whatever.
Gambino roof.
It's very popular certain circles that. Right. you do that to your barn thing. So we'll see what the final geometry works. But fundamentally, we're trying to do a bunch. So you don't need a ton of, with 4, 5, 6, 8 sculpts, you can have a system that kind of just cover a whole bunch of things. And there's going to be fun magnetic attachments and widow's walks and chimneys and things. There'll be some. We got a bunch of fun stuff to spruce these up. But the core geometry is going to be neat. Any ideas? Ideas. I got lots of ideas. Any questions?
People wondering about stained glass windows.
Yeah, that's a down the line.
A lot of people are talking about wanting to be able to make like churches, like chapels, which makes sense. It's a pretty big set piece.
Sacred spaces was really high in our survey. We've been pushing a bunch of stuff around. I'll show you when we have something ready. We will show you what we're working on in there. But how
about a temple front like Griffin Tamers?
Yeah, there's a pediment is talking about. We got all this stuff is cooking. It's brewing.
So I looked up the Jalusi window.
Yeah.
And there's no way we're making this, but it's wild. You know how blinds you have like the slats, and then you twist the rod, and they like
Venetian blinds.
Like imagine that was the window. Like if those slats are actually just the glass on the window.
Yeah.
You've seen that?
I've seen wood ones like that. I don't know if I've seen glass like. Oh yeah. They have that in like bathrooms or whatever.
But that's just not. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was seeing when I looked it up, I was seeing like it was like floor to ceiling like.
Nah, yeah.
Glass like doing that. That was wild.
Yeah, we'll get there. Well, yeah.
We're not making
that's a little yeah. That's pushing our capabilities or usabilities. All right, so now let's look at what do we have here. We looked at we need to talk about interior walls. So we didn't so last we left our intrepid viewers. We were talking about we were working out this interior wall. So here's this thing. Last we left our intrepid viewers, we were talking. At some point, we showed you this interior wall system we were working on. So here is. It's going to have magnets and metal aside, and we're also talking about putting magnets on the bottom, so that you can just go right on the train tray. Here was some sculpts in progress. People were really worried when we first showed this that it was like, oh man, it's so thin. I'm like, this is just balsa wood mocks. Like, bear with us. So this is these are sort of early progress pieces. Here's a nice top view finish, and then here's the whole family. You ready? That is the plain straight front and back. The short straight back and front. That's the 1 inch. This is the short. I don't know what we call it. This is the 1 5/8 inch. So it's one wall's thickness shorter. Front and back. This will have a door in it. Front and back. This is a 1 inch corner. Front and back. This is a cool little diagonal corner that has a door in it. That one's a great little looker. And then there's a post. We added a freestanding post. So you can do some T-junctions and whatnots with them. So it's an interior wall system. It should give you a lot to work with.
Got a lot of people asking if we're going to have magnets in them. If they're like for use with terrain trays.
Yes, didn't I just say that in my I was saying a lot of stuff fast. Yeah, the theory is they'll have a magnet and metal on the side of each, so they'll stick together for stability. And then we're talking about putting like a single magnet on the bottom to pull them right to train trays. So you can then we could do like a nice wood floor terrain tray, and you could build a cool tavern with these or whatever. Or you could also what's neat about these is you can put them anywhere. You can put them in your castle. You could put them in your mountain. You could put them in your dungeon. You could put them in your cave. You could put them anywhere because they're just totally divorced from the floors.
They could make the captain's quarter in your modular ship.
Yeah, we'll ship some to Topulus right now so he can start building that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that, right? It's there. You could also take them and put those printed out maps that people have, like beautiful, nice maps. You can put them on those to then do a thing. Like there's a lot of fun things you could do with these guys, as well as of course, they do really neat things in your actual buildings, particularly once they all stick together. Right, and these will stick. Plus, they'll stick to your magnetic walls if you've got magnetic walls to give you another layer of stability. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's like 8 pieces, and it's gonna just give you a whole wonderful toolbox to do cool stuff with. I did a whole bunch of kind of elaborate builds with them to see how they work, and they're pretty neat. We have this little specialty guy that wasn't in that lineup, which is in there, which has the pointed end, so it can fit in with your fits into your corner post. You can fill that in, and then you build out from there.
Will there be an LED version on a floating wall?
Not currently planned, but it's a really good idea. We'd have to make it thicker, to fit. Yeah, I bet we could sneak it in the full 2-incher. It would have to probably be thick the whole way through. The current one has kind of one side's indented, the other side is out there. Yeah, if we can get a battery in here and a thing. It's just a matter of, do we have enough space to get the battery and the socket in this footprint? My socket might have to be off. It might not be enough space the socket might not be centered. We might be able to, if we did it, we'd have to probably have the socket offset because you need room for the battery clamp. Like this, what is it? It's not a clamp. It's a holder? You can see
everybody's laughing at you again because they realize you're using a refrigerator tray for holding these things.
Dude, they love these refrigerator trays, right? So they stack. They come in like different sizes. They stack, and no, here's the best part about it is they fit. Where's the thing here? Look at this. Oh, it's just the best.
They're modular containers.
They're modular containers, right? So they fit in. So I'm these they're really useful drawers are my new favorite thing, right? So these drawers, because they're invading everywhere. So you can fit 2 of them, a large and a small, in the really useful drawers. So I can pop them out when I'm messing with stuff, but then they can have a home that they go in with the really useful drawers. And what's nice about the really useful drawers is I can also rearrange those. I label them up and move them around and whatever and stuff. Like these freezer trays are the perfect thing for me. Yeah, I can't get enough. Send me more.
All right.
Trying to find
timeline.
modular like storage, like figuring out how to operate in a. I don't know if you've noticed, I have a slightly cramped, slightly cluttered basement here. By basement, I mean a garage. Right? It's not even a basement. Like it's just a cement garage that's supposed to have a car, but instead I've been living here like a crazed hermit for the last year. It's trying to find ways to store. Like I only have so much. This is like my workbench space. This is it. So I have to just be able to kind of cycle all the stuff off, put the next cycle of stuff on. So everything's about trays of various types to move stuff around. My builds, I have all those build trays, the 2-foot by 3-foot build trays, so I can stack those. I can do things. It's like a parking garage in New York City with those, all the things. Anyway, so the LED wall, we'd have to be able to basically get all these guts. I think we could do this sort of a thing. It's gonna be tight, but I think we could do it. That's a good idea.
There's one question that I think is important to answer. How thick do you imagine these walls being compared to, say, the jail cells?
Thick. They are. I don't know. I have exact millimeters somewhere. They're a little thicker. The tops are the same, and then the wall itself is a couple millimeters thicker than the jail cells, I think. Why do they ask?
Cool. I think they're just trying to get like an idea of like how much space it's going to take up versus how much inside will actually be playable, stuff like that.
Yeah, they're roughly the top and bottoms are roughly 3/8 inch thick. I think it's maybe slightly less. I think they're 10 millimeters instead of or 9 millimeters. I don't know. I have the dimensions somewhere, but this is a good close approximation. Granted, some of it's not as thick in the center, but the beams are about the same height as this. Yeah, it's gonna eat up some space, but c'est la vie. It's a wall. That's what it does. LED one though. I'm gonna write that down.
It's already 8:20, so let's go ahead and move on. Seems like people are mostly excited for this. That's good. Like this, I feel like this system kind of speaks for itself really well.
Cool. Call it a night. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so I guess we're that's it. Pay no attention to those purple blocks at the on the side of the camera.
Purple blocks.
Yeah.
Beans. Wait, LED.
Let's see.
LED interior wall.
Yeah, that's right, Topulus. That bin full of modular ship bits. the purple, the purple ship.
Good to see. Typeless. I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad participating in the game didn't make you flee in terror. That was really fun. Getting to run a game with a bunch of the folks, bunch of the viewers, and everybody like running the thing, and that was a fun time.
Yeah,
it makes me smile.
You got us a little bit of those convention vibes back.
Yeah, that was what we're going for, right? All right, so let's look at our next.
Don't say anything important while the mic's gone.
Oh, here's what we need to talk about. So, darn it, back to. Hold on. So, as you may have noticed, with the with these roofs and with our new floors, we talked about we were talking about our paired peg system, which we used.
This is important, yeah.
Right, we had in our original docs introduced the paired peg system, and we have it all over the place in Wildlands. It was sort of our best way to unobtrusively attach things that needed to be suspended. Our original plan was to incorporate the paired peg system into all of our floors so that we could do stuff like attach floors to all of the existing pieces / attach them to each other. So you wanted to be able to do this, right? Like attach all the floors to each other on 2-inch increments. The challenge was that because we work in PVC, not in ABS, right? So like the Warlock tiles, Architects of Destruction, this stuff is done in ABS. Which doesn't shrink, right? It's 1-to-1. What you get is what you get. Our PVC shrinks like we were talking about before, so it's really, really hard. Just getting two things to line up is hard. Getting 4 holes to line up on every side of this thing to line up with every side of another, of a like piece or another piece was like the fact there's like no way. You can't do it. So they're like either switch to ABS or give up the holes. So we don't want to switch to ABS because for a variety of reasons. It doesn't have the same. It doesn't feel the same in hand, right? It feels light. It feels cheap. It feels flimsy. It doesn't have the density, and it doesn't hold quite as much detail. We use it for certain things, right? For a bunch of the castle walls where we needed really precise bits, the castle wall platform stuff, but it doesn't. I mean, anybody that has it stuff that doesn't feel right. The wall platforms don't feel as Dwarven 4G as like the stock, right? It's just it feels just nice in hand. Anyway, so we don't want to do all of our pieces in ABS. So the new system. So the HPEG. So originally we were going to do those with this little HPEG, right? We had we did sort of a polypropylene 2 pegs attached with a horizontal thing so you wouldn't roll off your table and thing, but it's still a little kind of fiddly and it's a little tricky and it's whatever. So that was the HPEG. So that was our whole HPEG system, was we were going to HPEG everything in the world together, including the roofs were all about HPEGs, right? This was all, everything had paired pegs everywhere. Also backwards compatible, super exciting, but not doable. So the new proposal, the HPEG has become a biscuit. And
they're getting a big Doppler effect from you going back and forth past the mic all the time.
Well, I hope they're enjoying it because I'm kinetic. I really need to switch to a lav. I think then
we need to get you on a computer or get you something that'll let you use one of the lavs.
Yeah.
Because that's the issue, is the ones that we have won't work with your computer as is.
Right. Well, yeah. Anyway, we'll get there. What was I? Who's on first? Where are we? We're looking at HPEGs. Oh, HPEGs became biscuits. So, do you know biscuit joiners? So instead of a pair of pegs, we're now looking at like a little flat jammer, like 1.5 centimeters long by about 1.5 centimeters wide, with sawtooth on top, so there's like little ribs on the top, so it has more friction going into the dwarvenite. Toby printed out some sort of tests, and it seems like it's gonna work great. Like it's not gonna roll off your table. It's easier to get them in than it is to get the HPEGs in. And we have this really nifty, you can see that picture, that like twisted like piece of wire that looks kind of like a person with no arms on the right side in the middle. So that would be like a removal tool. So there's 2 holes on either side of this thing. So if you jam it in, it's hard to pull out. We'll have the little hook tool, and you drop the claws in and pop the peg out, or the biscuit. We need a name for this, not
biscuit.
Biscuit, yeah. Although it's, the more I say the biscuit, the more it grows in me. But so we're looking at something like this. The downside is it's not backwards compatible, and it's a bigger hole, right? The nice thing about the paired pegs are the holes are relatively unobtrusive. Like you can't really see them. These slots become kind of a pain, and particularly a pain when you're looking at like trying to incorporate them into, or the side of that, like a nice stone floor, right? Trying to incorporate them into this, right? So this was the idea with this thing, was there was paired pegs were going to fit. We had little spots where they were going to fit, but now the slots are a challenge. However, the newest that we're working at, Eli had this epiphany. Oh, well, first it started with this, was, so I'm like, well, if we're trying to figure out the slots, this is what they'd look like on the floors. We'd have sort of horizontal slots on the sides of the floor, slats on the floors, so that then the slots would be hidden in the slats, which would help. It's harder on the decorative stone, but we'll get there. And the dream was, well, maybe we could
bring the mic closer to you.
Wow, it's very sensitive. I feel like it's, for whatever reason, I'm having a harder time being loud today than usual. I don't know what it is.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I know. I'm usually don't have a problem being loud. So the dream is to be able to have the paired pegs also, but this is probably going to be even worse for them, like trying to now line up 6 holes. So the latest was, this is some classic Eli ingenuity, is what if we do a thing like this, which essentially takes the biscuit, slaps the pegs on either side of the biscuit, and now it's a paired peg biscuit peg thing. So it has all the benefits of the biscuit, but then the sides sort of taper down to be the exact diameter of paired pegs, so we could fit to. So the hole is, instead of this like horizontal slot, it has these little stubs on the side, which then it won't be as tight a fit as like the normal paired peg fit, but it should hold something like the dock. So I don't know. We haven't kicked this back to the factory yet to see what they say, but because they're probably gonna be like, guys, we can't. This hole is just like insane, because then it's gonna be hard enough to do this. Like, they couldn't do square holes, and now we're trying to do rectangles. Now we're trying to do a rectangle that has weird bits, and I don't know. We'll see. But we're somewhere in biscuit world here is the latest and greatest. The other interesting thing that this opens up is there might be some open lock compatibility thing that we could do. We can't be. The problem is we can't be compatible with open lock in Dwarvenite because it's too soft. Like, the open lock requires real precision and like that hard bits, but we could potentially have an adapter piece, an ABS adapter piece, like a 1x2 floor or something, or a 2x2 floor, that would then have one side would be a biscuit and the other side would be an open lock. You could like finally play happily together. Is that something? Would people be? Is that an interesting adapter piece? Would people be into that? Would that be a thing that would be useful, or not?
So far, people are saying, "Oh no, anything but open lock, please no," and no. Right. But I think the main thing is like, so the people that are watching right now are people who are using our stuff because they don't want to use that system, and so it's that we would change to being a lock system, but it would be like having a way for people who do have open lock pieces to be able to use them with our stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like you wouldn't be able to just use them interchangeably, but we could theoretically we could make some sort of adapter piece that would be like a floor. It would be like a 2x2 that would have to go between them, because we'd have to switch to ABS, so it would have to be an ABS piece or something like that, right? It wouldn't work in Dwarvenite, or it would have to be a Dwarvenite piece with an ABS insert. It's like a whole thing. But there's some potential there if like. But anyway, so we'll keep you posted on the biscuits. And if you've got some great name suggestions, we'll take them. And we'll see where it is. But it is that these will be able to join, because we want stuff like.
Yeah, just to clarify, I think this is the main concern. We are not saying that we would change to an open lock system that you would use for our pieces. No. We're talking about potentially having a way for people who have pieces that use open lock, like having a transition piece specifically so that they can transition from the open lock pieces into the Dwarvenite pieces that use our own systems.
So if you had this is the new biscuit floor, and imagine this is a transition piece. It's got biscuits on one side, open lock on the other. You'd plug this in, and then you could attach your open lock stuff from there. I don't know if you would, but it's like it would give you the option. It would probably be a 2x2, but we need something. It'd have to be an ABS. It'd have to be an ABS like adapter piece that would have, or it could be like. This was the other. Oh, this is the other thing we could potentially do if we can't get any backwards compatibility with the biscuits, we could do a thing like this, which we could also do for open lock or whatever, where one side would be a biscuit and the other side would be paired pegs. So you could paired peg and then paired peg into the biscuits. Biscuit join it. Biscuit is really growing on me. I'm like, we need a name quick. So that was our. Anything else with H pegs that made sense? No. So anyway, and fundamentally, we want some sort of system so that we can join a bunch of. We want to join a bunch of modular roof pieces together so that you can lift them off as one unit, and we want to be able to put together, an interestingly shaped second story on your house that you can then lift off as one unit. So when they get into the second story of the Thieves Guild, or whatever, you can sort of play with your multiple levels as sort of as one unit. Oh, and that's the thing we didn't mention, which we mentioned previously, the new wall, the new corner posts. One of the beautiful things the new corner posts is that you can pop in City Builder peg and then pop the other one up. I don't know if this is going to work because it's 3D printed. Oh yeah, sort of. Right, so you can stick these two together and then use
grab the mic.
You can stick two corner posts together with a City Builder peg and then use them as a double corner post to join floors. So then if these floors are biscuited together and then have the post pegged together holding them, it's like we got a double lock that should hold them together really pretty well. So you can kind of do multiple levels at once, because we want to go up. We want to go on the z-axis, which we'll talk about in just a second. We want to explore, the three-dimensional space. So the biscuit's going to get us there. Let's look at this. So we have, actually.
And again, to reiterate, all of this is also very much in development and subject to change.
Oh yeah, we forgot our preamble.
Yeah. None of this stuff is for sure. This is very early in the development process. We're trying things out, and that means looking at multiple possible iterations of a thing to see what gives us the best bang for the buck, and what's the most convenient, what's the most modular, all that stuff.
Everything that you see here could change, and a lot of it already has changed, right? We have changed a lot of our plans since when we first started talking about this a couple of months ago. A lot of these things have already changed and evolved.
When we were pretty certain we were going to do double-sided floors.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that yet. So,
it's actually a thing.
Double-sided floors.
So cover still.
Yeah. So originally, let's pull this. Where are they? So originally the plan was we were going to have a plain wood on one side, fancy parquet wood on the other side, right? So you'd flip this over, boom, boom, boom. You get double bang for your buck, because you get twice as much coverage. The reality is, or you get two options of the same piece. Is less store, less stuff to store, more usage for your piece across the board. You get cool style options. The reality is, price-wise, it bumps the price up a significant amount, enough that it becomes particularly problematic at the lower level buy-ins, right? If you're trying to do $100 set and you need 4 floors, the difference between a floor costing $9 and $15 is a lot, right? So 4 $9 floors is $36. 4 $15 floors is $60. Like if $60 your $100 is already burned on floors, like you barely get walls and corner posts. You don't get anything in there. So it seems like, so we could make double-sided floors, but it's gonna raise the cost depending on the paint, the style of paint on each side, and the depending on how crazy you get on the parquet floor. Even harder on, like, if one side of stone was this, the other side of stone was this, and this is an elaborate paint job. It could literally go from a $9 floor to a $15 floor painted. And so it's going to be, I think it's going to be debilitatingly, it's costing too much, particularly if you want to get 100 floors or something. That's it's an extra $500 on $600 of just on the floors, versus getting, I don't know, you could get, instead of buying 100 floors, you could get 40 of one style, 40 of the other style or something, and call it. I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. But it just seemed like it didn't make sense to goose the price that much. If it was like $1 change, yeah, it would be fantastic. But the reality is, it's so much more surface area to paint. The tooling costs a little, the manufacturing costs a little more, and then the paint costs a bunch more. So double-sided floors currently dead. Although we may, there may be a specialty floor that resurrects it or something. I don't know. We will see. It came, it died, it may be reborn. I don't know. Like the phoenix, it could rise from the ashes. So anyway, everything could change. Everything will evolve, and that's part of the fun of this is you get to see our process, like watching HPEGs turn into biscuits, turning into the next thing, turning into whatever. So back to the Z-axis. So we want to go up. We want to do stuff like this, right? We want to do stuff like this. We want to mess around. So we've been kicking around some pieces, something like this, whatever. And I'll show you what we got. Right now we are at. All right. So those.
Mike, grab that mic. Let's go.
All right. So those pieces that you saw, right here. These are some very high class smocks I'm working on. What do we got? All right, so let's look at the base piece first. So the idea is, where are we? We want to go up. We want to go up 1 inch. And the reason we want to go up 1 inch is 1 inches gives you 2 inches, and that gets you a building, right? So right now, with the existing city builder system, you can kind of go up 2 inches pretty well. There's a few things you can do in that realm and whatever. But if we add 1 into the equation, suddenly you can take the same. Oh, I should go a little wider. All right. So if you have a 1 inch, I have another one of these. All right. You can just using the same pieces. You can just having that. A 1 inch change can make things a lot more interesting and opens up a whole bunch of stuff, right? And then you get two 1 inches, and he gets you back up to 2 inches, and you're back up onto the same height. It's whatever. So our fundamental building block is going to be some sort of 2 by 2 by 1. We're looking at having a cutout in it, and then it would let us have some sort of like removable fun insert thing that could be like a sewer grating or whatever, so you could use it. Maybe as a transition into your sewers. If you're using it to build seawalls, then it's a nice place for the sewers to drain out into the ocean. It's put it at the base of your foundation for a weird jail cell. Who knows? Fun. But you pop it out or whatever. You have this sort of a thing. So the idea is these would be field stone. So they could be basically feel like universal foundation pieces for everything. Right? They are... they can work. They'd be the same foundation for a stone or Tudor building, fieldstone building, fancy stone. They work for everything. They work for seawalls. They work for aqueducts. They work for waterways, whatever. So we'd have some sort of 2 by 1. We're gonna. I think I can't remember what our final ones were. I think we have a 1 by 1, 2 by 1. Wait, I should look at that picture. I had so many iterations. Okay, yeah, 2 by 1. We would have a 2 by 1 by a half, which is great for if you want to do fences. Like, where the heck did I put all these? See, what I need are more freezer trays around here to find all my stuff. I ran out. I have to order more, you see. So you could use them to do you can do fences. You can use them to do railings. You can do 2 of them on their side to get you up to 1 inch again. You can do something crazy if you do... Where'd it go? You could put them on their side and put them under this thing to get up all archety. It's a good fundamental thing. You could use them as like sort of higher level walls. Whatnot. So basic building blocks. They're the 1 by 1 useful cube. We'll probably put a couple of holes in these things too, so they'll join together in interesting ways. Like maybe there'll be a biscuit hole slot, whatever, H-peg slot on the side there, so you can then connect for overhangs. You have some sort of stairs, which will play nicely alone or together, or this. They actually need to come up higher. And then these can also work as sort of railings. We'll have a 1x2. Oh, there's a 1x1. There's a 1x1 by half and a half, and then like a corner posty thing, something like this. So this basically gives you a whole fence system that you can do to make just all sorts of outdoor walls. Obviously, this is a pole accessory hole, so you pop that guy out. Some sort of fence system. You could also sort of drop it on its side and whatever, use it to raise stuff up. I don't know. There's going to be those basically wonderfully useful rocks that have geometry that works nice in a bunch of different directions. There's going to be I didn't have a mock here, but I'll show you in a little one. There'll be like something that's this sort of a little diagonal rise thing that will be used on the sides of the stairs. And you can put two of them together to flank your stairs or bigger and whatnot, so you can have stairs going up the side of your. Let's see, put the building here. There. I gotta glue this thing together. Well, I have a better mock. I'll show you in a sec. Right. So if you had a, I'm not even on camera. There you go. Okay. So then we have, here's a really fun one though. So those are the basic ones. Then we have this wacky guy, which is the cool tall arch piece. So the idea is you could use two of them back to back to do a thing, or put two of them together like a thing. And this is once you get up high. Oh, we'll have some sort of ramp thing. We're figuring out what that is, but I don't know. We'll get there. Here's the thing that makes this awesome. So this guy's got a little channel in here, and that lets you, once biscuited together, you can slot in your narrow wall. So then you could also use it to put like your narrow door wall in there. So then you could do, if you have your building up there or whatever, and you have your stairs going up, this could be the entrance to that weird underground cellar where the secrets are or whatnot. And then also, if there's a way to, I don't know how we're there yet. If we had a, do I have a 2x1 here, a 1x1? Well, if we had a, I'll fake it with this. Oh, I don't even have the right holes in these. Well, imagine if you put these over, if you had a 2-inch spacer in there, then you could fit a full size wall in there. Does that? Some sort of thing like that. So gives you, I don't know, lots of fun potential with this. And then this guy can also be used to build out a bridge or whatever, connect some sort of overhang piece or whatever, or you put it out on the second story and put a thing going down and whatnot. So those are sort of some fundamental fun 1-inch rise bits. Then here's to even get spicier.
It gets even spicier?
Well, a little bit. We're messing around. I don't know where it's going to go yet, but Toby did half size, so we have sort of faster and easier to print out. I did half size versions, printed out half size versions of these. Right? So these are little 1x1s that represent the 2x2. So it's miniaturized versions of all this stuff, so that we could mess around with. Both these are like the, these are the cool railing pieces, or whatever side bits for doing your stairs. And then, whoop. Yeah. And then I was messing around with what curved stairs would look like in this sort of a thing. And that goes up 2 inches, so you'd have to imagine we're up here, thing. Yeah, some fun. Maybe we turn these sideways so it's solid, or maybe turn that one this way. Yeah, and we could fill this up with the 1x if you want, or and then this
15 millimeter gaming is back.
Yeah, we literally are making that joke internally. This could go up another thing, or I don't know. There's some fun possibilities there. Don't know what it is yet, but how fun! Like these are just adorable. These are really fun. Oh, and then this is like a cube. Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with the 3D printer. So fun that we had to get a second one. In fact, it's really been helpful in the development process. And then, of course, this would affect the dock and scaffolding system. We'd have a 1-inch rise on that, so then you could go up 1 inch to match with the rest of these. What was I just going to connect with the... Oh, I was going to show, like, the other thing. What was the other thing Toby was messing with? Oh, the railing. Toby was messing around with the railing. And this was with the old paired peg system. Is it up? Oh, I didn't pull it up. So it's that railing lower right that would go in with paired pegs. And so that you could do something like, I don't have that crazy fountain.
People were, I know I'm trying to make sure we get through everything, but people were wanting to go back and look at the drawing before. Oh, I'll see you're off mic again.
This drawing?
Yeah, people were wanting to look at that.
Yeah, it's Eli drawing out some ideas for how this would all play out. And this is Toby messing around in 3D. And then using the stair things at the edge of the roofs and just seeing where you could kind of put this stuff. Where's the... I guess I'll find that fountain picture next time. Toby did a crazy build, assembled all this stuff into like a crazy central monument thing. It's already 8:51, so maybe we should take questions.
Let's take questions. In the meantime, I'm also going to start our giveaway.
Oh yeah, we have our fan build and our giveaway.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and squeeze it in right now. The giveaway word is biscuit. BISCUIT. It's for either a starter dungeon if you're in the US, or you can choose is it $50 gift card?
Yeah.
$50 gift card. Or if you're international, we can just do the $50 gift card. But I think that's what you prefer anyways. So yeah, if you want a chance to win a $50 gift card, type biscuit in chat. Maybe we should just make it just a gift card at this point. I think it's what everybody's going to choose every time anyways, because you can just use it to get the starter dungeon if you really want it, right?
It's true. Just make it a $50 gift card.
Yeah.
And while we do that, let's look at Michelle is working on a see that? Boarded up window insert. This side hasn't been sculpted. That's it. It's a fun little guy. Did I get everything else? I think I actually got everything I put in there so far. Yeah. That. Let's look at our fan build. Who did this come from? Chris, who sent this fan build?
Oh, this is by Jack Solis on the Discord. Just a random build they sent in. I liked the use of quite a few different sets in there, but it makes a really cool little scene.
Streets,
like
dungeons,
this is like a good start to an adventure for me.
Water caverns
with like a green dragon up in the hills over the top.
Oh, is it an elevation platform there? No, it's just dungeons. Yeah, they're really it's a great mix and match, right? Hybrid. Look at the lion statue with the dungeons on the top as a roof. The WizKids Market set. Green Dragon. That guy's awesome. Man, the Aranthor Mountains are just like that's a nice mix. The Aranthors with the Dread Hollow trees on there, so it just dresses all up.
It's why we went back to it for Wildlands, right?
Yeah. No, it's the perfect. Look at that. The light, the torch light coming through that that narrow. I think it's awesome. The little tunnel in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I looked at it. I was just like, this is just like a very
fun.
appealing thing to look at. Like this seems like it would have been a really fun session to play.
Yes. Well, it's also a nice achievable thing, right? It's it's like 16 inches by 32 or something. It's like a very it is an elevation platform. Yeah. Just an accessible. Oh wow, there's I didn't even realize that's a cave mouse down below on the base of that. That's covered. Yeah, it's really good. Really smart use of the train. Where you can? Oh, there it is. You can see
It is wild how it's just there's a lot of really good building techniques in here, a lot of cool hidden details. It's cool. It's one of those things that like it's not like an absurdly expensive amount of pieces, but it's just using all those pieces really well.
Well, it's absurdly expensive because it's picking out the best of from it's like best of from Dread Hollow, best of from Aaron Thor, best of from the streets, best of from the city, best of from the dungeon. Like it's drawing from a pretty big catalog of pieces. It's not, the pieces on the table aren't staggering, but it's like it's drawing from these. They have a deep well of pieces.
I think people are saying the fountain is WizKids.
Yeah, the market stall, the cart, the fountain, the bell. The job board sign. They have a WizKids market set. It has all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the stuff featured in this picture. That the fountain, the baskets, the thing. They have a.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Woo!
Let's roll the giveaway and then let's tackle questions for a bit. I think. Because I think we've shown everything, right?
More or less.
Is there still stuff to show?
I mean, there's always more stuff to show, but I think we covered more than enough. Now, we didn't really go back to the docks and scaffold, but like I don't think it's a lot of the stuff hasn't changed yet because we're trying to figure out we're locked in. We've got like a biscuit jammed in the Suez Canal there. We're just stuck with this biscuit system. We're trying to figure out what the H pegs are becoming because that affects sort of everything that has the need for horizontal attachment, as well as we're working on. We have a bunch of other things a bunch of mystery things we're trying to sort out currently.
Michelle's been watching. By the way, she says the boarded up window insert also fits into the trapdoor space in the original city floors,
and it can also just be used as like a pallet.
Yeah.
We'll show you an update on that. For sure.
Right.
You gotta see this. The lantern she's working on right now is sick. It's like there's so much fun Michelle detail bits that are coming.
All right, I'm gonna roll this giveaway.
Roll.
And if you guys have any questions about what you've seen, I know there's a lot of stuff that comes up. We won't be able to cover all of it today, but we'll answer what we can real quick. But first, the winner of the giveaway is Overboard DM.
Woo!
Overboard DM. Sounds like somebody that could use a modular ship, right?
Oh boy.
Sure would be nice if one of them showed up right about now.
Here. Get a modular rowboat.
Overboard, I will message you and get your email address so we can hook you up with what you need. I believe you already have a fair amount of our stuff, so if you want, I'm assuming you're gonna want the gift card, but you can just tell me when I whisper you. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. So what do we have? What do we have for questions? Let's do 10 minutes of questions and go to sleep.
Yes. Is that all the systems you're planning for as of right now? Being asked by Mad Roboticist, so you can I can assume why he's asking.
No, we have a bunch of stuff brewing. But this is sort of this is what we're what we have that we can show right now that's kind of taking shape. And that's what's kind of fun. It's kind of crazy. Like I don't know, showing this stuff like we're literally showing a bunch of this stuff to the team today. So it's kind of wild to then just show it to the outside also same day. I don't know. It's an experiment on seeing what happens if we just sort of show everything that we're working on and let's just see how it all grows. But there's a bunch of things we're kicking around that will we'll show if they, sometimes things get abandoned, and maybe we'll show some of that stuff too. But also, we need a couple of surprises to save. I don't know actually what we're gonna save for surprises. We don't have anything left, but I don't know. We'll get there.
I mean, we haven't gotten to the part where we're not designing like any of the cool showpieces yet, right? Because we're so focused on the bread and butter that like I'm sure there's gonna be some really cool showy stuff that we make later.
Yeah. But we're gonna want to show how that's made. But yeah, we'll see. Although I guess we can also just talk about some things without showing them, and wow.
That is fair. For the corner block that was 2 floors high, if we didn't want to use a floor piece and just stack walls, would there be any kind of filler wall that could take up the size of the floor height? I think you're talking about the double high posts.
Like if you were gonna stack another double high post on top of a first double high post.
I think what they're saying
or
is
stack a
like if they're making like a cathedral or something with like super high ceilings, like what do they do to fill that space in the yeah, like if there's not actually a floor at the halfway point of the double high post, what do you do to fill it?
The double high wall will fill it. We're gonna have double high walls.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you don't need to use 2.
Yeah. No, because 2 walls leave you a gap. We had this filler piece that we did in the castle for it, but it's just kind of fiddly and annoying, and I don't know. So we're embracing some beautiful double high walls.
Will the bridge attachments in the new Kickstarter match with the castle bridges? Is it backwards compatible? The bridge attachments being the arches that you showed in the
Yeah, not currently. The fundamental problem with that system is it didn't have it was a central peg, so there was rotation. We tried to use magnets and metal. It was not it didn't work so great. But there might be I don't know. We'll see as we get really bridgy. We might there might be a something that can bridge the 2 realms. We'll see where we go with that. Like do I have a bridge right here?
Can we get extra 2x1 floor inserts for stone and Tudor floors? After you show this.
Right, so this was the old, the castle bridges. The backsides worked well because they tended to be constrained, but the problem was the rotation. And it requires just a lot of hardware. I don't know. We'll figure out how the whole thing can work together, because these are some pretty pieces. What was the thing about the what?
Who's on here? Can we get extra 2x1 floor inserts for stone and Tudor floors?
Yes, conceptually we will get there with. So I think we're gonna try and have the inserts be double-sided. So we could even theoretically have one that's an old school, that's one side Tudor floor, one side fieldstone floor, interchangeable. So you just get a dozen of those in one piece you can use to fill either of your old floors.
Will we be seeing like the 2x2 and 2x4 floors for stone and the original Tudor, or just for the new designs?
That is our intention, is to have, so the wood, we're just going to do 1 2x2 and 1 2x4 in plain wood, but that plain wood will work for your Tudor, because the Tudor floors were essentially plain wood.
Mm-hmm. They aren't terribly different.
No. Right, so these are old Tudor floors, so we'll have a plain wood 2x4 and a plain wood 2x2, which will work for either woods, and then we already have a 2x4 in the fieldstone, and we'll do a 2x2 in fieldstone to match the old, right? Because we have a 2x4 in the old stone. In fact, we have the 2x2 sculpted of the fieldstone.
Do you think these biscuit things would get damaged by using a pair of pliers to pull them out?
Are they velvet pliers? Uh, it depends on what we end up making them out of. If they're dwarvenite, they should be fine. If we're talking about um, other materials, I don't know. We're not sure what it's going to be. I think Michelle was suggesting doing them in
Speaking of Michelle, she wanted
polypropylene.
me to let you know that we should save the unicorn as a surprise.
Way to keep a secret, Michelle.
Yeah. So let's not talk about that one.
It's don't worry,
Um,
it's locked in the hold of the modular boat.
yeah. I'm curious to see if this biscuit is what we actually end up landing on or not.
I don't know.
Because who knows?
Yeah. I think we'll go back and forth at least a couple more times and see what it evolves into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can we get pegged rugs to hide visible post holes in the 6x6 floor double pairings?
Why would you need pegs in the rug? Couldn't you just put it over the floors?
Just lay a rug over it. Yeah, we usually you can just like get some fabric and like it can be like a really
Well, no, rugs are. I mean, Michelle has sculpted some beautiful rugs. Like, there's rugs are. You can definitely sculpt some nice rugs. Well, you don't need pegs in it though, because you
yeah.
could just put it anywhere. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, Eli did that cool owl bear rug back in the Griffin Tamer Kickstarter. We could, yeah, a rug's not nuts. I don't think we have one on the list currently, but it ties the room together.
Yeah, because oh, people were wondering why we weren't doing like the ABS skeleton thing we were talking about before as a solution for the eight
Uh,
peg problem per side or four pegs per side.
because it gets really expensive. Because we're putting peg holes in a lot of things, right? 2x2 floors, 2x4 floors, 4x4 floors, large diagonal floors, small diagonal floors, 5 different roof pieces. Who knows what? Like, it becomes an enormous amount of ABS skeletons that then have to get attached to dwarvenite skin. Like, the price, it jacks the price up a lot. Particularly across all of the. Like, if it was just one specialty piece, it wouldn't be so killer. But when it's in all the fundamental building block pieces, it's really going to run the price up a lot.
So it
And,
sounds like generally what they're saying about the pegs and the rugs is that it helps keep the legacy floors together. If you're like securing the pegs from the top with a rug. Uh, let's see. A couple questions asking
we
if we're
need.
doing dressing and stuff. I think when it comes to like furniture and market stalls and the like, that's something that'll be decided closer to the time.
We have
Because right now we're more concerned with the building of the city
Michelle's.
itself.
No, Michelle's working on some stuff as we speak.
Well, I was
we,
hoping to cover for you so we could keep the secret, but that's okay.
no, we like no, it's all we usually kind of leave it last and then race to figure out. But this time we're actually starting it earlier, so we kind of can flesh out some areas earlier. But yeah, we would like to offer some fun dressing bits, some good stuff.
Let's see.
Some LED options and some decorative options. Yeah, what kind of dressing are people dying for?
Modular fish barrels is one thing. They're wanting more of the fish barrels.
What's a fish? What? Where?
I think we have made fish barrels before or something, and so they're saying they want more of them and they want them to be modular.
Oh, the stalls, the market stalls.
Maybe I don't know. I wasn't here for KS3.
We have a fish market stall.
Unicorn head filled barrels.
Ha!
Libraries, as we mentioned, a fair amount of people have been asking about doing market stuff. Stuffed deer head, an LED fireplace.
Is this right? There's fish in the fish market stall. That's all I could think of.
Okay.
Or is this the fish barrel?
LED kitchen ovens, interior shops, rugs, bookshelves. More market stuff. A
What?
grand double high fireplace. Ooh, doing a big hearth would be cool.
That would be cool.
That's
I'm still
bringing
curious
up
about this
Monster Hunter World
fish
again.
barrel.
Just like sitting in front of like the big fireplace and like my house in Monster Hunter World, just like this massive like hearth, and that's such big vibes. A big fireplace with a secret door behind it. Ooh,
No,
yeah, like
fun.
a big fireplace that also functions as like a hidden like a breakaway wall or something. Would be cool.
That is fun.
Double high backdrops. Toilets, apparently.
Garderobes, always a thing. We're not doing it.
Hidden bookshelf. Man, the chat like kind of started flying at that part. City scatter. Okay, so some flourishes that are fancy and not fancy to help differentiate between
the
richer and
are
poorer
we in
parts of
this?
town.
Are we in the slums? Are we in the market? Are we in the classy in high town?
Last Crusade spinning fireplace.
Mm.
Statue of Zoltar. Just like a massive like.
Behold.
Just like a huge sized creature. Statue of Zoltar that you just drop in a plaza. Takes like a 4x4 base.
Let's make it as big as Tiamat.
Yeah.
Just say, yeah.
Then you have a kaiju battle between Zoltar and Tiamat.
It's classic.
Yeah.
It's a story as old as time.
Yeah.
What else? What other questions? Other questions. Get one more. Sorry, it's 9/11.
It seems to have mostly
devolved.
Yeah, it seems to have mostly developed. Oh, okay. Diagonal sidewalks and street/alleyways. People are wondering if we're doing stuff about that.
We will not have diagonal streets and alleyways. We're not doing any major expansion to the streets currently, and that was in part based on our survey results, in part based on sort of our web store sales. And in part based on our concept of building on top of rather than inline. But we will probably have at least one sort of sidewalk fill piece to fit with a, so we'll have at least one, maybe two sidewalk fill pieces for some of the wacky shapes so you can build some of your crazier shaped buildings in line with your sidewalks.
How are the new buildings going to work on top? I think you just answered that, actually. I just hadn't gone through to them yet. Let's see.
And you can always build your building on top. Like, you can build some stuff in line and then some stuff just on top of the sidewalk, pave out some sidewalk area, or just put dungeon floors under it or whatever, and then build on top and have it spill out onto the sidewalk. It'll look cool, too.
I saw something else. What was it? Sewers are out, right? Yeah, we are currently not doing anything underground or any of like the more dungeon crawly style things like sewers or catacombs.
Yeah, we've kicked all of this stuff around, and it was alive, and then it died, and then it came back, and then it's a different thing. But like right now, we have our hands full just trying to do expanding Tudor, expanding Fieldstone, adding fancy stone, adding rustic wood, modular roofs, dock and scaffolding system, 1-inch rise system. Like, it's already, that's already a ton of stuff. Then all the dressing and all the bits and facades and, there's a lot of stuff in there.
People are wondering if we could have some sort of town center stage or something. Some sort of like elevated platform for performances and speeches and the like.
Yes, you will be able to build that with our dock and scaffolding system.
That's true. Yeah. Like, that's the cool thing about that system, right? Is like essentially there's so many different like wooden structures that you can make just by using those basic shapes.
A boardwalk like like Wild West style wooden boardwalk outside all your buildings, docks or porches, balconies, weird scaffolding.
Apparently they wanted a stage so they could have guillotines and gallows. So that tells you where their mind's at.
Yeah. There's a. Seems like everybody. Anytime people do a city dressing, like there's like a guillotine or a gallows or both, or stocks are the other popular thing. All right.
Let's see. Oh, there's something else I wanted to say. Where is it? Stickers for signs. Like having decals and stuff. So if we have like a sign piece, like different ways to customize it.
We have something in the works in that realm. In fact, Michelle's working on or even finished a thing that's in that realm already.
Wondering if we'll have ramps because they think they'll be essential for integrating them with mountains.
Yes, there will be a couple of ways to transition up at 1 inch increments. It's crucial. Both steps and ramps. Yeah, we're really interested in being able to do kind of some interesting gradual elevation changes. You're sitting integrate your houses at different heights and integrate your what level you're working on at different heights. And
Overboard saying he doesn't normally want minis, but how about some musicians? That'd be interesting.
Why would you? So you don't want minis, but you'd want musicians?
People speak really fondly of our townsfolk and like city guards.
Why?
From what I hear, they that they're kind of matched theme sets.
Ask the chat. Why?
Ask the chat.
Yeah. Why do you like our?
They're shouting more townsfolk. Okay. While they do answers for that, any city planter boxes that work with wildlands trees or anything have like designated like
areas? Not currently, but we kicked it around. Toby is always trying to build gardens with the stuff. Like he's like, I want to take a wildlands thing and put it in a city, and it's definitely, I don't know. We will see. Definitely, yeah. It's not on the current to do, but it certainly. It definitely transforms an area, right? The difference between a slum and Hightown is immediately apparent when you suddenly have a row of trees going down the street. Like it's also a nice splash of color in the city. So
yes, what they're saying is seated minis, a city without people is lifeless.
A city without people is lifeless.
But then right after that, then IME's like, oh, dead townsfolk, which
of course
beats the lifeless thing. I think.
Dude, you should
they
see
like them because they're pre-painted, durable, and better poses.
You should see.
That's the thing. Just having sculpts with like a lot of character is nice.
IME's
some life to the scene.
IME has a secret lighthouse. You heard it here first.
Oh, I guess then being pre-painted, time not spent painting townsfolk is time available to paint monsters. Because I guess when you're painting a PC or like the big bad guy or something, like that's one thing. But if you're painting just random filler characters.
Well, and where do you put the drill bit when you're trying to you're just trying to paint the town drunk? Like,
you just got to get a smaller drill.
Yeah, I just really.
Common folk are hard to find.
What is this drill is perfect for like the townsfolk.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, now we're getting like a debate between whether we should just use those SKUs for more terrain or not.
Yeah.
Modular airship. I don't even understand most of these. The Chucky factor, beer belly. This is the entirety of the messages that are being sent.
Okay. Well, I think that's a sign that it's time for bed.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
secret modular submarine.
What's the secret?
Blue tack on feet on a wine cork. What's the secret of it being a secret modular submarine? Like we just don't say that you can actually use these pieces to make a submarine, but like if you grab like.
If you get just the right combination, you can build this secret submarine. Yeah.
Did you know that if you get clever enough with the castle pieces, you can make a train?
What kind of crazy criminal genius would come up with that?
I don't know. That was a fun build. Speed painting with power tools.
Now
fortune nunchucks.
I'm into all of this. Can I put the minis on the end of the nunchucks and like you just put the paint there and you just
city street 4x4 with tree stump.
That'd be cool.
Want to know more about the secret cellar Nate was talking about earlier? What's the secret?
Secret cellar?
That's where they're keeping their wizard nephew.
Oh yeah, the secret cellar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know how we get down in there. Well, you just build it with other stone pieces.
Now I'm realizing
All
there's
right.
stuff that we still didn't really cover, but we're
Yeah,
over time already,
we got months.
and we've got months.
Yeah.
Like,
And stuff will die and it'll change and it'll evolve and yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope this gives you some answers and piques your curiosity, and I don't know. We'll keep you posted as it all evolves. See where the biscuit leads. If we can bake the biscuit. Um, thanks for telling me that dowels exist. This is the big takeaway from today, if nothing else. And yeah, I think it's it. What do we have? Hobby hang tomorrow night. Big April Fool's.
Hobby hang tomorrow night on April Fool's Day, so I'm sure we'll do something.
I'm sure.
Uh,
and we have our fundraiser. Our fundraiser goes until next Sunday, I think the 11th. So
yes, it goes until the 11th. So there's like a week and a half left on that.
Yeah, so throw the link in chat for any latecomers too. It's a chance to win a game with Stefan and Satine, or a $1,500 gift certificate, $1,500 gift certificate, and raise some money for a good cause. And do we have anything else coming up?
On Tuesday, we're doing Building of the Month.
Yes.
So if you want to know what the theme for May's Build of the Month is going to be, you'll be able to see it there.
Yes.
And also potentially have input on what it's going to be and what the narrative is and all that.
Give you a clue. It's in stock. It's
yes.
Man, I had the same thing again where I was like, oh, I want to use this, and I saw it. I'm like, I look in the store, and I saw it in the store. I'm like, oh, we've got it. And that's Eric. He's like, oh yeah, we have one in stock. I was like, that's not even fair. I'm like, I saw it in the store. I thought we.
Anyway. He just joins the chorus. People like, I wish Dwarven Forge would just keep their store stocked better.
Seriously, it's the worst. All right, and Build of the Month comes out on Tuesday too. So Build of the Month and Build of the Month. So, well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. We really appreciate all the support, all the jokes, all the fun ideas, just all the camaraderie and clever use of terrain. Keep sending us your builds if you want to. Throw your build out on social media, or you can email it to us at OTA, as in on the anvil, at dwarvenforge.com if you'd like to see your build featured. You can follow me at Nate Taylor on Twitter, NateTaylor, and you can follow Chris. Do they follow you anywhere, Chris?
It's
Discord?
Not at home.
Not at home.
Chris London Film, I think, is my Twitter. All one word.
It's very active.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if I've ever given up my social on here before. Interesting. Do the Amazon thing, show us what's in stock and how many.
Oy.
Well, there is a way to check.
It's secret, though. It's in the cellar. And on that note,
you got to go into the cellar to find out.
Thank you, guys. Good night. Everyone, we'll see you next week. Bye.